Yes, friends, I would like to invite you to the fifth lecture series of Unit 2, that is risk measurement topic. Under that banner, we have already studied various aspects related to risk management process, risk management related aspects, and decisions relating to risk management. What are the various types of decisions which are taken for managing the risk? In that, we have already seen risk control decision making things and risk financing decision things and all that. In our previous lecture series also we have seen various aspects relating to the benefits of insurance, benefits of risk management and various aspects. Now we need to discuss today the scope of risk management. Earlier, risk management was only confined to certain business activities, only business related things. But today, risk management is not only considering the risk of one business unit, but the whole sum. Because today, what happened, the risk management is not pertaining to one single organization. If you are able to manage the risk in a one single organization is not sufficient enough, because the scope of risk management is very widened, because your organization is a unit in an industry. If something happens in the industry that may be directly or indirectly creates certain kinds of risk, or poses certain kind of threats to your small business also. So understanding your own organization is not sufficient. You have to understand the business in total. You have to understand industry in total. You have to understand a country in total, economy of the country in total. And today, because the globalization is emerging, where we need to look into the global world also in order to plan out to control the risk or finance the risk, or what to call as a total risk management related aspect. Therefore, the scope of risk management in today's complex business world is very wide. It is not only confined to one business unit. Suppose if you are running a textile industry, you cannot, if you want to make a risk management, implement risk management tools in a textile industry, it is not sufficient to study only the textile industry and develop certain strategies to stop the risk happening emerging inside. You need to focus on market risks, where the demand and supply of the textile industry is varying. You need to focus on the legal and political environmental changes also, because now and then there will be a lot of legal rules pertaining to the textile industry will be changing. You have to focus on that also. You need to focus on the export import procedures of the textile products, and not only textile, total textile industry as a whole. And not only on that, you should also study the supply of cotton industry, where you need to study even the textile industry, being the input is a cotton. Suppose if your industry is based on cotton, agro based industry, you need to see the agricultural change happening around, hectare yield in the cotton yield in the country, all that. And also you should tap the availability of raw material from the various parts of the world also, in order to bring that raw material inside your factory and conduct the production process, and then finished out product can be sold to the outside market. So the risks are emerging not only in your industry or not only in your factory. It is emerging in the industry, it is emerging in the total market and all that. Anticipating each and every aspect of the risk which is directly or indirectly affecting your business has to be studied. Therefore, the scope of the risk management is a little bit wider. So therefore, as a student of finance, if at all you want to know the risks what are emerging, student of management, if you want to know the risk management and all that, you need to study its scope, how big the scope of risk management is. If you see, the changing scope of risk management in today's business world is basically because of the globalization, or basically because of diversification of industries. Today, none of the industry is producing a one single product. Take an example of even today, a single company earlier which was producing only one product like Amrutanjan, today they are also producing liquid Amrutanjan. They are producing a high pain reliever, white colored pain bomb, yellow color pain bomb, like that. Earlier, Amrutanjan was producing only one product, because they understood unless and until we diversify or multiple products we produce, in the same line, they may not be able to survive in the existing market. Therefore, they have to diversify. There is no example of any companies available today in the market that only one single product is produced and they are becoming the market leaders. Therefore, all the companies are trying to diversify their businesses into different variants, conglomerate diversification, vertical, horizontal, like that. There are various types of diversification happening around. If you take an example of Wipro company, which are producing the tube and bulbs, started producing the electronic products, started developing the softwares, started developing the computers and all that. So there is a huge amount of drastic change from one field to another field. They have transformed their business. So when such kind of transformation is in need of the hour, when the business has to get transferred, in such cases, risks are bound to happen at all the levels. Therefore, the scope of the risk management has been changed a lot drastically. That is what we need to study, the various aspects of scope or the changed environment in the field of risk management. It covers the following topics like understanding enterprise risk management that we are already studying. Enterprise risk management in the sense pertaining to one single company, what are the risks involved in that? That is not sufficient today. You have to study the insurance market dynamics also as a part of risk management. As a part of risk management, mere studying the possible risks in a particular business is not sufficient. It is necessary to study the insurance market dynamics, because insurance market is also very volatile in today. There is a lot of drastical changes happening in the insurance market. When you want to address some of the risk issues in your organization through a risk, through an insurance contract, then you should have a knowledge of the insurance market dynamics. And even the contract of insurance is also looked into from the point of view of not only managing the risk but also a profitable deal with the insurance companies. If you are taking any policy for a particular kind of a risk happening in your business, maybe a general insurance policy for maintaining the fire insurance and all that, now you have to look into the dynamics of the insurance company. How insurance company is compensating my loss? What is the structure of that? What is the possibility of risk happening around? What is the quantum of the fire insurance taking place in the country? How the insurance companies are going to compensate the losses? Are they sufficient enough? Should I go for a single insurance company? Should I go for multiple insurance companies for the contract? So what is the situation of the insurance market? Who is giving the best price for me, best premium for me? All these things are necessary. So when you want to address one issues in your enterprises, will not end there only. The risk management will not end there. It will switch on to the dynamics of insurance. It is also pertaining to the third point, developing skill for loss forecasting. That is a very important aspect of it. When you want to manage a risk management, you need to understand the loss. What is the quantum of the loss? Loss forecasting is another aspect of risk management. Today, risk management is not only a happening of negativity in the industry, but also if it happens, what could be the possible loss that the business is going to incur, whether that loss will be severe or less in this one, whether it should be addressed with the internal financial arrangement, or whether loss has to be compensated from the outside insurance markets and all that. So what has to be done? So forecasting of insurance, forecasting of a loss is also a part of risk management. So in risk management, you are not only studying the risk and its aspects in one particular organization, but also studying the insurance market and also studying the forecasting of losses. Apart from this, it is also covering the financial analysis in risk management decision making, very important one. When you want to finance the risk, how it has to be done. So you have to have a further based study like how to control risk, how to finance risk, if it has to be financed, whether it has to be financed from the internal source, whether it has to be financed out of the what you call as insurance contracts, whether it has to be financed out of the what you call as long-term reserves, short-term reserves, how that risk is going to emerge and how it has to be managed. Even in that financial support for the risk management and all that, also we look into the profitability and sustenance of the business and all that. So financial analysis is also a part of risk management. That is why risk management has become a part of finance specialization, because the students of finance should have a knowledge when it comes to finance the risk possibilities, finance the risk situations in the organization. It has to be well planned, well analyzed. So financial analysis is a part of risk management decision making. The last one is risk management tools, understanding the risk management tool is also equally important. What are the various tools of managing the financial managing the risk in the business, whether insurance is only one tool, or whether the kind of pooling of risk is another tool, creating reserves is another tool. So there are various tools that are available to manage a particular risk, which is most suitable. Whether I should go for pooling of a risk, whether I should go for insurance, if at all I'm going for insurance, whether I should go for single insurance or multiple insurance, what is the quantum of the loss, what is the possibility of the risk, what is the severity of the risk, what is the frequency of the risk, all this has to be understood. So it calls for analyzing the risk management tools and analysis of each of the avenues of the risk management tool which is most suitable. So therefore risk management scope is not only confined to one single organization. Even if a manager is implementing a risk management tools in one single enterprise, he has to study all these additional things along with that. So his knowledge should be much widened one. Therefore, the scope of risk management includes all this. Therefore, in your syllabus also in risk management, we are not only studying only risk process of the risk and all that, but we are also studying the insurance market. We're also studying the loss forecasting mechanism. We are also studying the decision making possibilities in the risk management and all that. That is what the scope of risk management. Today, if at all you look into insurance market is having a lot of change happened in the insurance market. Insurance market dynamics that we look into, dynamics means changes happening in the insurance market now and then. Earlier, insurance was only confined to one small country where only one company was emerged into insurance business in our India, that is Life Insurance Corporation. Later on, General Insurance Company came into existence. Both were managed by the government. There was only monopoly of the government organizations to insurance activities. But nowadays there is a lot of change happened in the insurance market also. Therefore, the risk manager should have a knowledge of the dynamics of the insurance market. What made the insurance market change or dynamic things happened in the insurance market is, the first one is deregulation. If you look into the because of the certain reasons, the risk insurance market has changed a lot. One is deregulation, that is the compulsions on government entry into what you call as insurance business has been withdrawn by the central government. Today, the central government has made that insurance market open to the privatization, open to the private people, where even private organizations can also enter into. So reducing the control and regulations on the insurance sector helped to emerge a private insurance players where after this 1999 sorry 1991 onwards, when the regulations were withdrawn, you could find out a lot of private insurance companies came into existence in India, especially ICICI Insurance Company, then Mahindra, Kotak Mahindra Insurance Company. There are a lot of n number of insurance companies started coming into business, and this has widened the scope of the coverage of the market in the insurance market in the country. When LIC was operating in the country, hardly 1% of the total Indian market was covered by LIC or general insurance, and 99% of the market was untapped. Even if there were opportunities, these companies, these government organizations like LIC and general insurance were unable to go and meet the requirement of the population. When the privatization has been done, hardly 4% of the total market is still covered under the insurance. Still 96% is untapped. It means that in India there is a huge market for insurance requirement, but only a certain portion of the market is being covered in spite of having a lot of insurance companies in the line, because every insurance company focuses only the metros and only on certain aspects. But there are a lot of what you call as insurance business opportunities for insurance companies today that has been tapped by the innovative approaches of a lot of private companies, and they're coming out with the various kinds of insurance mechanisms. Next one is globalization of insurance institutions intensified a competition. Because of the globalization, you could see that foreign companies started coming into India for insurance business. You could find out Lombard Insurance and many other insurance companies, Lloyd's Insurance Corporations and all that entered the Indian market. And today Indian customer can buy any insurance product he wanted, whether he is at individual or it is a corporation level. A businessman can have lot of options available with him to buy the products from various organizations, whether it is indigenous or whether it is a foreign company. So globalization has made that competition more, where foreign companies emerged into. This has brought a lot of change in the insurance market today. Third one is the emergence of electronic commerce. E-commerce made insurance company to reach easily. Today, policybazaar.com or many other, every insurance company is having a possibility of giving an insurance contract, where earlier when the insurance contract has to happen, many a time the agents or the insurance company representatives used to frequently visit the client, understand their possibility, then if they are eligible, then insurance was given. But today, without seeing the customer also, just based on the KYC, know your customer document systems, insurance contract is being established between the parties. Nowadays, for example, when you want to travel for any distance, when you are traveling by road or by rail or by aircraft, when you are booking a ticket, a thing will come to your mind to insure your product, your journey of that particular voyage, that particular journey. If you are going to Mumbai, if you are going to Bangalore from Belgaum, the one single journey, if you want to insure, you can insure. Anything happens in the accident in between, you will be compensated money. Just for example, if you pay 15 rupees in the road transportation extra, the ICICI is giving you a transportation insurance, where if at all anything happens up to 5 lakhs rupees, you will be insured. You will be given a what you call as compensation in the case of accidents, hospitalization, treatment cost, everything. So people don't look into 15 rupees. They look into the benefit if at all negative thing happens. So there is no possibility of any loss, but there is a possibility of this chances are there. In case if at all any emergency arises, 15 rupees can save your lakhs together expenditure. That is how people look into. So there are a lot of what call as electronic commerce systems and all that made it easy to have insurance contracts today, because all customers today are learned. They understand all the things which are available in the soft copy on the computer screens and on the laptops and on mobiles. And if they like that particular thing, they agree there only. Electronic signatures are made, electronic contributions are made, electronic fund transfer is made, and even insurance policy is also transferred electronically. So the whole package of insurance service today is based on electronic system. So thanks to the technology for enhancing this business market. So this has brought a lot of change in the insurance business. Then next one is bank assurance. Bank assurance, in the sense, a lot of banks today also started performing the insurance activities. Earlier, insurance companies were different and banks were different. Today, even banks are also allowed to do a insurance company, because the Reserve Bank of India has allowed the bankers also to undergo insurance contract, because they are already in the field of finance. So because of that, they will establish a one more wing in the same bank, in the same ambit, and start providing the insurance services also. Whatever the deposits they are receiving and the loans they are providing in, or according along with that, they will also go for insurance business also. Today you might have seen State Bank of India, Canara Bank, all that kinds of banks are today coming out with the insurance approach. This is called bank assurance. The scenery of the insurance business changed when banks started selling insurance products. The total scenery has changed because bankers are also in the insurance business. The last one is emergence of new risks. There are a lot of new risks which are emerging in the field of business. Earlier, for example, the insurance products were available only for the accidents, or only for the kind of fire insurance, only for life insurance. But today insurance are available even to the farmers also, for crop insurance, or for godown insurance, or lot of insurance came into existence. That is what the emergence of new risks and identifying the new risks, and they are being insured. And that is giving a business. For example, when you buy a costly mobile like Apple and all that, paying a 1 lakh rupees amount, if at all that laptop is damaged or misplaced or stolen away, then the loss will be compensated by the insurance contract. So insurance companies are also giving you insurance on your theft of mobile or damage of the mobile. So when you are paying 1 lakh rupees, another 500 or 1000 rupees that you are paying for the insurance of that particular product is not a big issue, because in case if at all any damage happens, if at all it is stolen away, you can claim that price from the insurance company. So these are the new risks which are emerging. When the technology is emerging, new risks are also emerging around, and they are also insured. So lot of companies are coming out, insurance companies are coming with new avenues, new innovations in handling the new risks. So this is what we call as risk management, dynamics in the insurance market. Then what are the factors responsible for insurance market volatility? If you look into, you will find out there are a lot of what you call as factors responsible for insurance market volatility. Earlier were the, these were the insurance market is the reasons of volatility. Here these are the factors which are affecting the changes in the insurance market today. Volatility in the sense there is a change in the insurance premium. Today's insurance premium is not available after 6 months or after a 1 week time. There is a change in the insurance premium happening. Old customers are charged different for the same product, the new customers are charged different. This type of volatility is happening basically because of certain reasons. Earlier in the olden times, when the life insurance came into existence, the insurance premiums were decided once in 5 years. So throughout that 5 years time, the same amount was applicable to all the people who are taking the same products. But today it is not like that. Insurance premiums are changing from time to time, and because of certain reasons. One is the basic factor which is responsible for the changes in the insurance operations, or which have direct impact on the insurance market volatility, are underwriting cycle influence fluctuations. Underwriting is pricing for insuring a risk. If you are insuring a risk, what price you are paying for, charging for, that is what we call as underwriting. Say for example, premium agreements. Due to insurance market conditions, the premium and profitability of the insurance company fluctuates. Be depending on the premium conditions, situations, the premium and profitability of the insurance company fluctuates. Insurance market conditions. See, today the condition is different. Earlier the condition was different. For example, the Star Health, which was charging around, say for example, for a healthy person taking an insurance policy at the age of 18, it was charging only 5,000 rupees for a 5 lakhs rupees coverage. But the same product for 18 years old person is being charged 15,000 today, basically because the corona has emerged, or the new kinds of diseases have emerged. So there is no guarantee. 18 year is a healthy year where the possibility of health risk is found to be less when it was analyzed earlier. But today, if you analyze the health of a person and make a this thing, even 18-year-old person's life is also at a risk. So if at all that risk has to be taken, then normally premium will be high. So this kind of volatility is happening around. In the case of, this is a small example of health insurance. Similar is with the fire insurance. Similar, earlier fire insurance were charged very less, because most of the time fire which was happening in the company was basically because of short circuit or certain kind of problems. But today fire may happen because of the thickly populated area where the crackers burst out may happen, petroleum products nearby the factory, when the petrol pump gets a particular petrol bunk gets a particular fire, it may involve the factory nearby also. So there are more possibility of happening the loss today because of the density of population growth and exposure to the risk to a higher level. Even in petrol bunks, you can find out most of the petrol bunks got a fire because of the short circuits mobile short circuits while charging the mobile or while making a call also, it may lead to the problem. So when this kind of problems are emerging, risk quantum is more, normally premium will be charged more. So therefore the insurance fluctuating cycle, premium profitability of insurance fluctuates in the two ways. One is soft insurance market and another one is hard insurance market. What is soft insurance market? Soft insurance market is that where the premium is low and low standard of risk. Standard of risk is also low, premium is also low. Say for example, in case of transportation, if you take along with the ticket, if you buy an insurance for accidents and all that, in the transportation additional 15 rupees that you pay, where premium is 15 rupees. Standard risk is hardly 1 lakh rupees or maximum 5 lakhs rupees. So there is no possibility of damage normally. He will reach safe 99%, but 1% is a extraneous factors which may lead to what you call as accidents and all that, and that may lead to losses and all that. So most of the time insurance companies will have a profit, so low premium and profit is also very low in this case. Hard insurance market refers to high premium and high risk. Here the risks are very high and premium is also very high standards. Here the profit is also very high, because when you are insuring a ship, cargo ship, normally premium will be very high, because the risk factor is also very high, and if at all any loss happens, loss will also be very huge. So in this is called as a hard insurance market. Lot of small insurance companies are emerged in soft insurance market a lot. Hard insurance markets we have a limited what you call as companies emerged into the business. So next one is consolidated in the insurance industry. Another reason for volatility of the insurance premium, profitability and all that is consolidation in the insurance industry. What happens, the consolidation is a combination of insurance organizations through acquisitions and mergers. Many small insurance companies which are unable to manage are merging with the big insurance companies, and combined synergy is being established. So when this kind of things are happening around, the normally the insurance premium payments and charges will be made lower when the new companies emerge into. So when the competition emerges, when there is a what you call as acquisitions and mergers happening out, companies become more smart in developing a new products, and the new kinds of approaches are made to reduce the insurance premium and help the customers in that way. So this is how leads to volatility of the insurance premium and profitability. Next one is securitization of risk. One more thing which has happened today is any risk premium that has been received by the insurance company, they are investing in the capital market. They are investing in the what you call a share market, and most of the insurance companies are trying to share that profit with the investors. That is what unit linked policy we talk about. In unit linked policy, what happens, some portion of the money will go for your risk management, and maximum portion of the money will go for a capital market operations. If no risk happens, the premium what you have paid will not go waste, because the amount that you have, part of that amount which is being invested in the share market, the insurance companies will securitize that, and they try to make a profit out of that. Some profit portion is also shared with the investors. This is a new avenue which is trying to decide the which is impacting on the premium charging and the profitability of the insurance companies. So securitization of risk is a one more aspect. So there are three important factors which are responsible for the volatility. One is the underwriting cycle fluctuation, second one is consolidation in the insurance industry, and third one is securitization of risk. So with this discussion, I would like to end this lecture for you, and we will see the remaining aspects in the next class. So the next lecture, sixth lecture, will be the last lecture where I'm going to discuss the loss forecasting techniques in the last class, which is very important from the point of view of examination. And in this model, the question may be asked, what are the factors responsible for insurance dynamics? Sorry, the reasons for dynamics, insurance market dynamics, and factors influencing the volatility of the insurance market, that may be asked in the examination. So with this brief discussion, I will end my fifth lecture. Thank you. Thank you one and all for watching this lecture.